Looking back on this perfect morning, one of my last days in Idaho before traveling the 2,100 miles back home, I remember the tranquility of this moment. After all, this was the destination of my journey. I had just filmed and photographed a bald eagle adjusting its feathers with a watchful eye over the only spot on the lake that wasn't still covered in ice. While eating a warm breakfast and drinking my hot coffee, I studied the bald eagle's behaviors in this remote location. I relaxed in my hammock and listened to all the birds around me. This definitely was the destination of my journey. And as the old saying goes, it's not the destination, it's the journey. My journey here to this spot, to this moment, was equally enjoyed. So before I tell you about this lake and the many special places I went to in this wilderness, I want to take you along on my journey here. A road trip across the country was part of my journey here. A road trip where I put my newly converted van to the test. A road trip where I must have stopped 100 times to take in the views. A journey that could not have been experienced by plane. And in the end, I am grateful for my journey here.
Thanks for fun, and today we are headed to Idaho. 2,100 miles in 31 hours. Not gonna be straight, that's for sure. I did get the van converted good enough for this trip, and I believe it's gonna do me real well. So I hope you guys come along and enjoy astrophotography, landscape photography, wildlife photography. It's gonna be a great trip, so I hope you enjoy it.
But when you left, I could feel it grow like a body of water, seeping through the edges of my soul and getting harder. It was never under my control, you know.
So I'm a little bummed out. My son's not going with me on this trip. Him and I, a lot of times when we go on road trips, we have our little trifecta, we call it. And what it is it's cheddar cheese combos, a whatchamacallit, and Mountain Dew. It just became our thing. So, of course, I'm having that since I'm doing a road trip. But now I'm kind of missing them, so anyway, back at it, guys.
Like a body of water, seeping through the edges of my soul and getting harder. It was never under my control, you know.
Well, it looks like I'm gonna put up at the Paducah, Kentucky Walmart Supercenter. It's actually, they have hardly any of their lights on in the parking lot, which is unusual. Usually they're extremely well lit, but there's a couple lights out there that are still up. So I'm gonna go in, use the restroom, get a couple supplies. Alright, we'll see you in the morning, and we will cook up some breakfast and head the heck out of here to get some miles in tomorrow. I'm looking to do 16 hours tomorrow, if at all possible. Alright, good night, guys.
Well, thanks, Paducah, Kentucky.
Call me a rover, 'cause I'm a believer of the things we leave. I never hold on, ready for whatever there is left in me. Crash and burn, oh my God, stumble upon what is just my luck, just my luck. 'Cause even if I try to play it cool, I keep on circle back to what I do. I crush a little harder and hide the tools. Yeah.
Good little 5-hour nap last night. But the important thing was the van functioned perfectly.
We could try to be more than friends. The secret of how it ends. It starts with the figure, keep getting bigger. We watch it go down in flames. Don't wanna know your name. That's how we know it ends. It starts with the figure, keep getting bigger. We watch it go down in flames.
Okay, so I opted for a 5-gallon container of water that I can easily take out, fill up, clean out, and this little hand pump. I mean, this thing just... I think that should be good enough. All right. Well, we're passing through Missouri, and we're getting close to 700 miles, so we're about a third of the way through. I don't know how I'm supposed to be in Idaho tomorrow around lunchtime. I don't think that's going to happen. But I'm thoroughly enjoying the trip. You know, there's a lot of states that you just fly over, literally, like the song suggests. You just fly over them and you never really see them. There's just beautiful farmland, all kinds of different crops. Beautiful waterways, lakes and rivers, and some of the cities that I passed through. Got just a great trip so far, so hopefully we'll get some miles in today and have a chance at meeting our deadline tomorrow.
Hang on the ropes now, 'cause I wanna feel your body next to me. Get a bit closer, just a bare second till we're falling deep. Crash and burn, oh my God, look on your face, it's just my luck. Move so fast.
Where the heck are the combos? Have you seen the combos? Still no dice. Where the heck are the combos?
As of right now, I've done all-nighters before, and I feel okay at the moment. So, we'll see. Just keep on moving forward, enjoying every minute of it.
Crash and burn, oh my God, look on your face, it's just my luck. Move so fast. 'Cause even if I try to play it cool, I keep on circle back to what I do. I crush a little harder and hide the tools. Yeah.
Well, Operation Replenish Combos was successful. Last gas station didn't have them either. So Walmart didn't have them. The gas station didn't have them. I finally found a gas station that had them.
We could try to be more than friends. The secret of how it ends. It starts with the figure, keep getting bigger. We watch it go down in flames. Don't wanna know your name. That's how we know it ends. It starts with the figure, keep getting bigger. We watch it go down in flames.
So it seemed like I was in Missouri for quite a while, and then all of a sudden, Iowa creeped up. And then, before I knew it, Iowa was come and gone. Now we're in Nebraska. Well, we are about 1,200 miles in, just under 14 hours left. It's pretty tight. There was a storm that rolled through. There was a bunch of rays of light, probably 15 miles wide, as far as I could see in the whole valley. I'm going to go as long as I can tonight. I don't know how long that's going to be. It needs to be as safe and far as possible, though. All right. I got to get back on the road. Get some, guess I'll get some Mountain Dew or something in me, or some kind of caffeine.
We could try to be more than friends. The secret of how it ends. It starts with the figure, keep getting bigger. We watch it go down in flames. Don't wanna know your name.
All right, I've gone almost 1,400 miles, so I'm gonna get like 3 hours of sleep, and I'm gonna get up and try to get the last 700 miles. Hopefully somewhere in the 1 to 2 o'clock range. I think I can do it. All right, see you in the morning.
Well, good morning.
Well, it's about 3:30 in the morning, on the road again, just crossed over into Wyoming.
Every journey has times of darkness and uncertainty of purpose. That darkness can provide you time to look deep inside for answers. And when the light is restored once more, you continue your journey with strength and determination.
Of course, I love these little spill-proof thermoses, but they didn't have one in orange, so I had to make it orange. In the hammocking world, there's a guy named Sean Emery, and he always drinks this. He kind of got me hooked on it. I love the stuff. What I found is I kind of like about 2 times the amount of the Bustelo, and then 1 part Medaglia d'Oro. Alright, let's just fill this one together. Oh yeah, she's still steaming. Instead of messing up a bowl, I'm going to pour a little bit of hot water in the pouch. Be very, very careful with this step. Just take your time. Alright, that's it. I'm going to eat breakfast and get back on the road.
Well, we just got to the Continental Divide. It said it was 7,000 something feet elevation. I was like, I didn't know we were climbing up that much, to be honest with you. I got a 3-hour power nap last night and got back on the road. So we have 440 miles left and should be there just around 3. So I'm only going to be about an hour late. So this morning, I got some pretty decent photos from my Note 8 cell phone. I couldn't frame the picture or anything because I was driving, so I just held it up steady as I could with one hand while I watched the road and drove. Well, apparently I crossed over into Idaho back there just a couple miles ago. I was like looking on the map program like, when is Idaho coming? I thought it was somewhere around here. This place is so beautiful, I just can't, I must be missing signs because of that. Anyway, 200 miles left and we are there, so that's a good thing.
I know that you're curious, I know that you're strong, but life can be furious and things can go wrong. You go, we're better off tomorrow, but who knows if we get joy or sorrow. Stay true to that fire in your heart and your soul. Don't drench your desire in what you can't control. We fly, try so hard to get there, and we might.
Okay guys, here is my last turn. I gotta go 17, 18 miles down this last road, and this wildlife reserve is the last ranch on this road. To say I'm excited is an understatement. I am so psyched. I can't stop taking pictures. I've probably pulled over the side of the road 100 times today. All right, from here on in, it is all dirt road. Three days, hardly any sleep, maybe 6-7 hours of sleep between the 3 days. All the work leading up to this day, to get the van ready and to get all the plans in order. 2,100 and something miles. Wow, this is so beautiful out here. I think the valley where the ranch is at the end here is it's 6,800, and I believe Shelley is up around 11,600, not quite 12,000. So it's gonna be a pretty good hike. Hope to do it at least once, but maybe twice. I believe this is the end of the road, as they say. So now we're making the final journey into the property. Wow.
Well, I made it to the wildlife reserve in Idaho. 2,100 something miles and 3 days journey. I am at the very end of a remote valley surrounded by the 4.3 million acres of the Salmon Chalice National Forest. Before settling down, I try my hand at fishing for some trout. This native red band trout becomes my welcome dinner on the very first cast.
Letting go. It takes a bit of suffering, sleepless nights and wandering before you make it safely to the end. The end. There's things in life you simply need to know. But sun and rain and trust in letting go. It takes a bit of suffering, sleepless nights and wandering before you make it safely to the end. Before you make it safely to the end. The end. The
Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for my adventures in these Idaho mountains.
Can you hear me tonight? I just keep falling down on my knees. I've been fighting the darkest of wars. All I'm asking is, Lord, give me peace. 'Cause every time I try to make sense of it all, I just feel like I'm close to the edge of the fall, and I'm slowly drifting away, far away.